In the world of high-stakes political equity, a name is never just a label. It is a marker of a fully vested asset. When the president redefines the public identity of one of his closest advisors with a single pet name, he isn't just speaking off the cuff. He is performing a forensic rebranding of his internal circle.
A person I know very, very well. She's an inspiration to a lot of people, especially if you happen to be Greek. Kimber-lay. Kimberly Now, Kimberly Guilfoyle has been my friend for a long time. I love calling her Kimber-lay. That's my little pet name, right? But you are the greatest. And I heard they love you over there. I hope you come back here in 12 years or whatever the term is.
We are auditing a scenario where a former media personality and family ally has been reclassified as a sovereign representative to the Hellenic Republic, proving that in this administration, loyalty is the only currency that never devalues. This is the ultimate relationship audit, and for Camilo's house, we are documenting how the White House manages its human capital by turning personal history into diplomatic leverage.
All the politics. Where is John? He owns ABC. Where is he? John, where are you? Come on up here, John. Get up here. He loves publicity, this guy. Come on up here, John. He's got more things. He owns food stores, networks. Come on up. You want to bring your wife up? You can. She's really the boss. We know that. Come on up, John. Boy, oh boy, they didn't have his name marked down. I would have been in big trouble. I think it is marked down a little further back. I'm not putting him in the back, right, John? We've known each other too long.
A long time.
Come here.
We used to compete with each other.
We used to, but
You won.
But never. The debt that America and all of Western civilization owes to the Greeks is ancient and eternal. And to this day, American soldiers plunge into combat strengthened by the legends of Spartan warriors. American students still learn from the immortal wisdom of Socrates, the father of philosophy, who truly is, and Aristotle, the inventor of science. That's very good. It's good genetics.
While the media focuses on the shock value of a nickname, we are looking at the consolidated ledger of a political movement that rewards longevity and good genetics above all else. I am Camilo Motado, and this is Camilo's house. As a certified public accountant focused on forensic verification, I look past the performance to see the underlying statement of cash flows for political power. In a standard audit, we look for material misstatements in a company's records, but today we are auditing the internal controls of the president's social and political network. We are documenting a public event where the president revealed his shocking name for Kimberly Guilfoyle, a person whose history as the ex-wife of Gavin Newsom and the former fiancé of the president's son makes her one of the most complex assets on the national balance sheet. By calling her Kimberly Gill, the president is signaling a permanent reclassification of her role from a family office advisor to a high-level diplomatic representative. The operational transition of Kimberly Guilfoyle from the campaign trail to the U.S. ambassador to the Hellenic Republic is a massive portfolio shift. In any high-level audit, we look at the traceability of an appointment. Guilfoyle has been a longtime friend of the president, a fact that he emphasized multiple times during his address. In accounting terms, this is a related party transaction that has been fully disclosed to the public. By appointing her to Greece, the administration is deploying an asset with high brand recognition to a strategic NATO ally. The president's pet name for her, Kimberly Gill, acts as a security key that unlocks the internal narrative of the administration. Those who have been in the books for a long time are the ones who get the most valuable sovereign assignments. This rebranding is a material fact that bridges the gap between the president's personal and professional life. The president described her as an inspiration, particularly for those who happen to be Greek. From a forensic perspective, this is a market segmentation strategy. By linking Guilfoyle's inspirational value to a specific ethnic and national group, the administration is attempting to build equity with a key demographic. The president's casual mention of her staying in the post for 12 years, or whatever the term, suggests a long-term contractual outlook that defies the standard 4-year election cycle. It is a sign of a management team that believes their lease on power is permanent, and they are positioning their senior partners accordingly. Beyond the Guilfoyle audit, we have to look at the networking ledger on display during this event. The president's interaction with John, likely billionaire John Katzimatidis, given the mention of him owning food stores and networks, reveals the consolidated market cap that supports the current administration. The president described him as the most powerful man in all of politics and noted that he owns ABC and food stores. From an investigative standpoint, this is an audit of vertical integration. When you have the director of the board, the president, publicly praising a man who controls both the food supply chain and the media networks, you are looking at a total monopoly of influence. The transactional history between the president and this John is one of long-term competition that has evolved into a consolidated partnership. The president admitted that they used to compete with each other, but noted that eventually, you won. In the world of mergers and acquisitions, this is what we call a hostage takeover that turned into a joint venture. The fact that the president was worried his name wasn't marked down on the VIP list proves that even at the highest levels of power, internal reporting and record-keeping are the only things that prevent total chaos. By bringing John and his wife, whom the president called the boss, onto the stage, the White House was performing a public reconciliation of the books with the New York business elite. This media and infrastructure pivot leads us to the final part of our audit, the ancient debt to Greece. The president's speech moved from personal pet names to a global debt reconciliation. He stated that the debt that America and all of Western civilization owes to the Greeks is ancient and eternal. As a CPA, I track outstanding liabilities, and the president is framing the entire basis of Western democracy as an unpaid account to the Hellenic Republic. By mentioning Spartan warriors, Socrates, and Aristotle, he is attempting to capitalize on historical prestige to justify his current diplomatic appointments. The forensic conclusion of his speech centered on a controversial genetics audit. He praised the good genetics of the Greek people, specifically linking the immortal wisdom of Socrates and the inventions of Aristotle to the legend of Spartan warriors that still strengthens American soldiers today. In auditing terms, he is performing a valuation of biological assets. By attributing the success of the civilization to genetics, the president is using a biological ledger to explain political and historical outcomes. This is a high-volatility narrative that attempts to create a sovereign identity based on historical and biological lineage, rather than modern policy statements. The final verdict of the Kimberly-Gill event reveals an administration that manages its internal circle with a mix of personal affection and strategic deployment. Kimberly Guilfoyle is no longer just a Newsom ex or a former fiancée. She has been audited by the president and certified as a high-level diplomatic asset. The pet name is the seal of approval that confirms she is a fully vested member of the inner circle. Meanwhile, the public partnership with media and grocery moguls like John proves that the administration's power ledger is built on a foundation of consolidated industry control. My forensic verdict on this event is that we are witnessing the institutionalization of the inner circle. The president is closing the books on old competitions and opening new accounts in foreign capitals with his most trusted partners. The Hellenic debt is being repaid with American recognition, and the internal controls of the White House are tighter than ever. Whether it's pet names for ambassadors or public reconciliations with billionaires, the administration is proving that in the golden age of innovation, who you know is the most valuable intangible asset you can own. But I want to hear from you. Is the president's pet name for Kimberly Guilfoyle a sign of a healthy management culture or a material weakness in professional decorum? Does the consolidation of media and food owners around the president represent a systemic risk to our democracy? Let me know in the comments. Your perspective is the only audit that matters when the human capital of the nation is being reclassified in real time. I am Camilo Mutado for Camilo's House. Subscribe to stay informed on the numbers behind the headlines.